Good day, welcome to Endurance Room. I hope you're all doing well. If you caught the last video, I gave a quick tip on how to hang up your pack out in the woods, get it up out of the moisture, out of the snow, out of the rain, the mud. Got another tip along those lines. I have just made a new Ridgeline for myself, and I did this after seeing a video from Joe Price. He is an Irish bushcrafter, outdoorsman. I believe he's living in Sweden, and he's a really fantastic teacher. I highly recommend you guys go check out his channel. He used to have Living to Learn. He's got a new channel now. I'll have a link for you down below if you want to go check it out. But he put out a video talking about how he was constructing his Ridgelines. And in that video, he was demonstrating a quick deploy paracord Ridgeline with a bowline in one end. And then he had 4 prusik loops on the line with wooden toggles attached. Really interesting. And he said that he was using 2 of those toggles for shelter building, for setting up A-frames and lean-tos and whatnot. And then 2 were left over that he would use for hanging a lantern or, his jacket, his gear inside of his shelter. So it was a great idea. And he just kind of put that out there to inspire. And inspire it did. So if you see this, Joe, thank you very much. And this is what I've come up with. When I'm out in the woods, one of the first things I do when I set up my Ridgeline for myself is find a toggle off the ground to connect the Ridgeline and secure it to the tree. And if you saw the last video, I was talking about, getting rid of that toggle to suspend my backpack. And this one, we just brought the toggle along. Check this out. All right, here is my new Ridgeline. I just put this together with 750 mil-spec paracord. I've got a bowline in one end, a stopper knot on the other end, and 4 prusik loops made out of bank line with wooden toggles. 2 for setting up my shelters, a 3rd for accessories inside of the shelter, and this 4th one is a little bit different. Let me show you how I'm using it. To anchor our Ridgeline to the tree, we take the end with the bowline, wrap around the tree, pull the line through the bowline, creating a loop, and then we take our first toggle, which is on this prusik loop here, and drop it through that loop, creating a marlin spike hitch. Now from here, you have to slide the prusik loop up and squeeze it down, and you're anchoring your spike hitch to the tree. It's locked in there. It's very solid. When you're ready to go, you just pull the toggle out. You're ready to rock. So once again, take the bowline around the tree, run the line through the loop of the bowline, dropping our first toggle through that is offset. We've got a marlin spike hitch. Just slide the prusik loop up behind it. We're anchored down, good to go. Here on the other end, you're basically doing the same thing you did over there, making a loop for a marlin spike, and that's going to be your trucker's hitch. To do your trucker's hitch, you simply twist the line over on itself and then roll the loop that you just created up the end of the line and pull the loop out through. So what you got here is the same knot we have going on at the other end with our toggle. Basically the same thing. You're getting the same effect, except on the other end we're using a bowline, but same thing. It's just a slip knot. You're rolling it forward to end of the rope with a stopper knot, and that makes our loop for our trucker's hitch. We're going to wrap the tag around the tree, run it back through that loop, cinch the line down nice and tight for building your shelter. Then I take this long tag, I run it underneath the whole thing, back up over the top, and pinch right there at that hitch and cinch it down. Then I take my remaining cordage, do my figure 8, coil it all up, and I use it as a toggle inside of our quick release knot on the trucker's hitch. You just pull down, cinch it up, locks it in place. It's out of the way, it's off the ground, you're not tripping over it, nice and neat. And then to get out of it, you simply pull that back through, give it a yank, and you're free to tear down your camp. Pretty slick, right? And when you do that the same way every time, it just gets more and more efficient for you. The more consistent you make it, you know, running through those patterns, you know, the quicker you're going to be able to set up your camp. And now that we have our ridgeline anchored off and tensioned down, we still have our 3 prusik loops with our ready-made toggles. So you can just drop this through a loop in your tarp or a grommet hole in your poncho, slide the prusik loop, tension off your shelter, and it's good to go. And the way I envision using 3 of these is to have the 2 on the outside for my shelter building, you know, the corners of the tarp or the center ridge line if you're building an A-frame, for example. And then this 3rd one would be in the center to support my lantern or hang my jacket up off the ground if I need to dry my clothes, something like that. And then by having our 4th toggle right here at the beginning of the line, we've got our marlin spike ready to anchor off to the tree. And we don't have to carry an extra tent stake or find an extra toggle out in the woods. Because if you spend enough time outside, one of these days, you're going to be in a hurry to set up your shelter, and you'll appreciate having the most efficient setup that you can. When I first started out, I was just using prusik loops on the line, and then I was crafting toggles out in the woods to drop through those prusik loops to set up my shelters. And then I tried carabiners. That's what I've been running the past couple of years, and that's been working out pretty great. But I really like the toggle idea. It keeps it bushcrafty, and these are nice and light, and it looks good. So I'm gonna run with it. I like this 3rd toggle idea, and I really dig having this 4th toggle, this marlin spike, right there, ready to rock. Prior to doing this, I was getting a toggle off the ground or cutting it off a tree, and it's not nearly as efficient. It's just having it right there, ready to use when you need it. Pretty cool. So I hope this gives you guys some ideas and helps somebody out. If you got any questions, just let me know down below, and I'll have a link for you guys to go check out Joe's channel as well. Like I said, he's got a lot to offer. He's a really great teacher. And once again, if you see this, Joe, thank you very much. Appreciate what you do. So thanks a lot, everyone. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.